You ever get that feeling where the calendar says it's April 2026, but the tech coming out of the trade shows makes you feel like you've accidentally stepped 100 years into the future? I spent the morning looking at the new Trump specs, and I half expected it to come with a warp drive.
Oh, here we go. Is this the part where you tell me how you used to cut tube steel with a rusty hacksaw and a prayer? Because I've heard that one.
Not quite a hacksaw, but definitely didn't have a 9 kilobure fiber laser doing the heavy lifting. This new True Laser Tube 7000, she's a monster. We're talking about industrial scale speed on structural steel. It used to be that if you wanted to slice through thick-walled heavy aluminum, you'd have to take it slow or risk a mess. Now, this thing eats through it like a hot wire through a stick of butter.
Nin kilowatts. That sounds like it draws enough power to dim the lights in 3 surrounding counties. Is that actually something the average shop is going to see, or are we just drooling over the industrial supercars again?
It's the trickle-down effect. When the big manufacturing plants get this efficient, our lead times for raw materials drop. Speaking of which, Basic Metals is breaking ground on 42,000 square feet of new floor space. That's a lot of aluminum and stainless sitting closer to our front doors. It means the out-of-stock sign might finally stay in the drawer for a while.
I'm all for things being in stock. But let's talk about the finishing side. You saw that Wagner Sprint 2 system? They're claiming it makes powder coating intuitive. Knowing you, intuitive usually ends with you covered in neon green dust.
Hey, that was one time, and the exhaust fan was acting up. But look, the Sprint 2 Expert is actually pretty brilliant. It's built for the person who isn't necessarily a 20-year veteran of the finishing booth. It's got these controls that allow you to swap colors without feeling like you're performing open heart surgery. For a medium-sized shop, that's the difference between taking on a custom job and turning it away because the setup time is too punishing.
So, less time faffing about with the equipment, more time actually making things look pretty. I can get behind that. But before you get too comfortable in the shop, let's look at the people actually running these machines. I saw the notes on the 2026 Global Skills Challenge.
That really hit home for me. They were highlighting guys like Brandon. He's been an AWS certified welding inspector since the 90s. It reminded me of a stretch back in my early 30s when I thought the only way to get ahead was to weld faster. I was pushing myself to the point of burnout.
And let me guess, the smarter, not harder epiphany struck?
It was more like a my knees hurt epiphany. But really, the AWS Welding Journal for April is putting a massive spotlight on CWI renewals and senior level certs. For the folks listening who are currently in the booth, that's your escape hatch into a higher tax bracket. A senior CWI isn't just a welder. They're the scientist, the judge, and the jury. You move from the hood to the office, and your paycheck usually grows a pair of wings in the process.
It's the knowledge versus muscle trade-off. But speaking of things that require a bit of ego management, let's talk about the maker mogul side of things. I was looking at the Instagram data for 2026.
Don't tell me I have to start dancing. I've told you the world isn't ready for that.
No one wants to see you dance, Tiger, not even your dog. No, the shift this year is all about the beautiful mess. The era of the perfectly polished, filtered workshop photo is dead and buried. People want the brand genius approach. Look at someone like Dakota Ray Lowe. She's killing it because she's human.
I like that. It's a lot easier to be honest than it is to be perfect.
Exactly. The takeaway for anyone selling their work right now is to post the moment you drop the chisel and gouge the tabletop. Show how you patched it. Show the sawdust in your beard. People in 2026 aren't buying a product. They're buying into the fact that you survived the process to make it. If your reels aren't reaching new people, it's probably because you're being too much of a business and not enough of a maker.
It's about educational entertainment. I've always found that if you teach someone how hard it is to get a finish right, they don't complain about the price tag as much. They realize they aren't just paying for the wood, they're paying for the 10 times I almost threw it out the window.
Which leads us perfectly into the DIY mastery project of the week. Please tell me you aren't going to suggest people build their own nuclear reactor.
No, something much heavier. Concrete kitchens.
Concrete? You mean the stuff that cracks if you look at it funny and weigh 3,000 pounds? That's a bold weekend project.
It's the ultimate DIY luxury because the material cost is essentially dirt and rocks, but the sweat equity makes it look like a $10,000 designer installation. I remember the first time I poured a slab, I was so worried about the structural integrity that I over-engineered the rebar until it looked like a cage for a grizzly bear.
Always the structural extremist. But what about the air bubbles? Every DIY fail video I see involves a concrete counter that looks like Swiss cheese once they flip it.
That's where the shop secret comes in. Everyone thinks they need a professional vibrating table. You don't. You just take your orbital sander, leave the sandpaper off, obviously, and you run it along the outside of your plywood forms. Just let that vibration hum through the wood. You'll see the little bubbles rise to the surface like they're trying to escape a sinking ship.
And that gives you that glass smooth finish?
Every single time. When you flip that slab out of the form on Monday morning, it's like Christmas. It's cold, it's smooth, and it's basically indestructible. It's a project that makes your neighbors jealous, which, let's be honest, is half the reason we do DIY.
I appreciate the honesty. So, we've got 9 kilovolt lasers for the pros, inspection certifications for the grinders, authenticity for the sellers, and power tools masquerading as vibrators for the weekend warriors.
When you put it like that, it sounds like a busy Wednesday.
It always is in the den. What's the final word for today? What's the one thing people should take to the bench with them?
I'd say, don't be afraid of the thickness. Whether that's the thick steel, the new Trump lasers are cutting, or the thick skin, you need to post your mistakes on social media. Growth usually happens when the resistance is highest. If the project feels heavy, it's because you're building something that's actually going to last.
Deep. For a guy who just suggested using a sander to shake a bucket of rocks.
Hey, if it works, it's not stupid. Go build something, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow.